Hey there guys, Derek from Madagascar. Today is November the 14th, 2017. This video is an update on Atlantic Global Asset Management and Questra World. Since my last video on the shocking announcement and the repercussions thereof, that Atlantic Global Asset Management was sold to a company called Asia Trade Group Limited, and also the follow-up video in where I clarified that the actual trading, the 25 traders have not stopped working. We got paid last week. And of course, proof of the pudding or proof in the pudding on whether they're going to continue will be known this Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. Uh, I am optimistic that Atlantic Global Asset Management is going to come back in this due diligence period of 3 to 6 months. Uh, if you know anything about these huge takeovers of companies, and I just learned this week, actually today, that apparently there was something like 20,000 new people signing up with Atlantic Global Asset Management per week. That is unbelievable, you know. But anyway, this is hearsay and information that I'm trying to get off the internet, specifically social media. And if you're not aware of it, guys, there are hundreds of pages or groups uh, on Facebook referencing Atlantic Global Asset Management or Questra World or Leonora or Five Wind Asset Management. So the four companies have everything to do with each other and quite a lot not. So, you know, I found some interesting things. I saw a Facebook post about 3 days ago, and I've tried my darndest to find that post to actually include it in this video. And basically, what I recall from the post was that a one of the top leaders, an American ex-law enforcement officer, and also a detective, private eye detective, had been doing research on the new owner, Asia Trade Group Limited, and the owner, Mr. Young Sup Han. And by all accounts, his report was posted on a Facebook group. And you know what, I've tried for almost an hour to find that, and there's just too much. I don't know if it's been taken down, but basically the gist of that posting was that this Mr. I think his name was Dresser or something like that, had through his law enforcement contacts and also his abilities, obviously, and his training, had done a lot of research on the new owner and the company. And as far as he was concerned, it was 100% legit. And the owner, you know, the little bit that he did say about the owner, he is a very wealthy person, Korean, and also owns several companies, including Asia Trade Global Limited. And, you know, he gave it a thumbs up and he said, it's just a matter of time, guys. This will come back. And obviously, due diligence and looking into a purchase of a company as significant as Atlantic Global Asset Management and Questra does take time. And also, you need to consider how long it would take to transfer the data from one company to the other. And I found another post today written by a banker, and his experience in the banking industry and financial companies, and especially where there is a takeover of one bank to another, of one, or say banks merging between each other, mergers and acquisitions between two banks. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit about that. I found this on a Questra World Atlantic Global Asset Management by Money Alpha Facebook page. And it was written 14 hours ago by Aman Deep Gupta. Mr. Gupta, I thank you for posting this here. I wish that it was more readily found because it took quite a lot of digging to find you. And I mean, you know, honestly, this information is needed by everybody that's involved in either in Questra and Atlantic Global Asset Management. Great article, and I will post it below this video for you guys to read. Like I said, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. And I'll start off here. Interesting notification read from a Agam Questra World to one of the investors. If Agam had thought about giving a notice in advance, how all parties would have been affected. That is basically the heading of this article or this meme. So please take this into consideration, guys. First, should they have announced this prior to, if there was notice given to the members, the investors in Atlantic Global Asset Management and the business owners and entrepreneurs in Questra World, it would have caused a lot of panic. And what's the first thing that people would do? Think of a bank run, okay? We've got our money in Atlantic Global Asset Management. They've been doing very, very well for us, specifically for me over the last 10 months or so, paying around about 5% per week. Every week that I've been in here. Yes, there have been some delays in the timeliness of me getting paid, but the fact is I've been paid every week. And I'm definitely not going to be talking about Five Winds Asset Management. That is a totally different company. I am not involved in that. My concern is Atlantic Global Asset Management and Questra World. Okay, so what would have happened if they announced this publicly? Well, here it is. First, they would have triggered massive withdrawal of funds by investors and subsequently would have put the company at risk of insolvency. And here he goes on to say, Amandeep Gupta, let me borrow from my experience as a banker. No bank informs any stakeholder of a takeover in advance. Not even staff were informed in advance. Now, guys, I want to just go back to my years in the restaurant business. I was involved in the purchase and sale of several restaurants. And I can assure you that where I was the owner, I insisted that there is no way my staff, and I'm talking from the guy who cleans the dishes, washes the dishes, to my manager, that they knew that I was in the process of selling my business. Okay? Because that would have caused all kinds of problems with internal problems within the business. People would be worried about losing their jobs. And yes, you might think of me as an asshole for doing that. But in respect of keeping the business running to the day that it changes hands, and obviously I negotiated a deal where my staff stayed on. I try to keep them in the business with a new owner, but that is not always possible because a lot of people, in many cases, people would come in and they would bring in a whole contingent and new contingency or new contingent staff to take over. That people that they know and that they trust will come into their new business with them, into the new purchase. So in any business sale, more than likely this is the case, and even more likely in a company the size of Atlantic Global Asset Management and Questra World. No bank informs any stakeholder of a takeover in advance. Not even staff were informed in advance. The reasons being so as to control rumors that could put the bank at risk. Usually in the bank, we do everything quietly till the end before informing the customers and then the public, and then we apologize. Atlantic Global Asset Management cannot follow that approach because it's a global institution. If it does, rumors will fly and the company will lose funds that will make it close down. Something to really consider, guys. Secondly, the company buying the asset will also withdraw its funds. Have been, oh man, sorry guys, I'm reading here, and it's not obviously Mr. Gupta. What's his name? Yeah, Mr. Gupta is not a fluent English, well, grammatically. Anyway, note that the reason why they are buying Agam is due to its thriving business model, viability and trust by the investors. This will collapse if people massively withdraw funds. And as painful as it is for investors, that's you and me. I mean, listen, I was shocked when this happened, okay? I've got about 16,000 euros tied up in there. And I was very happily getting my around about, I think it was like $600 euros a week. And now all of a sudden that is cut off, all right? And I immediately went into a panic mode. But I started looking at it reflectively and thinking to myself, what would I do if I was purchasing this company, number one, or if I was the seller? So as painful as it is for investors, it is for our good that this decision go this way. Let us accept it for once. They will be back stronger and better. And obviously, it goes into a bunch of different things. Again, it's below. I think this is a good thing, guys. Number one reason is that a powerful, strong company has taken this over. And frankly, I think, and you know, going on the basis that they split into 5 Winds and Leonora, obviously they were having problems. I don't think that this company actually expected to grow the way that they would grow. Okay? I really don't think that they expected that. And for that reason, this was done silently. It was done almost in stealth mode, and it was announced the way that it was. All right? Now, the move to Hong Kong, I think, is the best thing that Atlantic Global Asset Management could actually do. And Asia Trade, the owner of Asia Trade's got his shit together as far as I'm concerned. Moving this company, it's a viable company. And listen, at this point in time, I believe it's a viable company. All right? What you got to take into consideration through the due diligence period is that there may be something or things that are found in the operations or the contractual obligations of Atlantic Global Asset Management. There may be things that are discovered about this company that will possibly have the purchase not go through. Okay? In this discovery and due diligence period of all aspects of Atlantic Global Asset Management, if there's anything nefarious, if there's anything criminal going on, it is going to be discovered. And then we've got a problem. But until such time, guys, I don't believe that there is a problem. I think that this man or this company, Asia Trade, has already done a lot of due diligence. And the fact that they're going into due diligence, there is a contract in place for that aspect of a takeover or a buyout of a company. That is a separate contract that is signed. And there obviously must be some kind of monies in escrow to make it worthwhile the owners of Atlantic Global Asset Management to allow 3 to 6 months of their business being literally shut down. All right, so there is money involved, and I would suspect that it is a big amount, a large amount of money that is being held in escrow through this due diligence and research period of Atlantic Global Asset Management. So those things need to be taken in consideration. Also, I pointed out in my last video that Atlantic Global Asset Management's traders, nowhere does it say that they have stopped working and trading. Yes, you cannot withdraw. Yes, you cannot deposit. But the fact is, and this will be proof on Friday, if we get that email that we've been waiting for every Friday, that we have been paid our 5 or 5.2% or whatever it is going to be for this week, that just gives this more, it consolidates this company more as the real thing and a good investment vehicle for people like us to hold on and wait, all right? And take this into consideration, guys, whatever you've got in your account, if it continues to pay out the 5%, it's money that you're actually not that you're not touching. So it's almost like a bank account that is giving you a 20% return a month on a deposit that you cannot get your hands on for the next 6 months. A big payout when they actually reopen, okay? Look at it as a Christmas, a late, if it's 3 months, it's going to be just after Christmas, and hey, possibly a late Christmas gift to you. Look at the upside, guys. Okay, there are a lot of people calling this negativity, exit scam, blah, blah, blah. Until Asia Trade announces that they're not going to take this company, we have nothing to worry about. All right, and I hope that puts you at ease somewhat. All right, and I just want to go, before I finish this video, why Hong Kong? Well, I will also put this link below. Hong Kong has emerged as a major financial center in the second half of the 20th century. It's vied with the likes of New York and London as a global commercial hub, specifically fintech markets. It's ranked among the top 5 biggest fintech markets in the world. Guys, Hong Kong also has a well-established financial services industry with 155 licensed banks as of July 2017 and over 600 stockbrokers. Okay, it saw 126 companies listed and and US dollar 25.1 billion raised last year and was ranked the #1 IPO market globally. Okay, and with fintech and ICOs and things like that, I'm sure there's going to be a move, and not only from a technology point of view, but from a education of the people and your employee pool in Hong Kong. All right, this all bodes well for our company, Atlantic Global Asset Management and Question World. And of course, they have announced that there are going to be conferences, and I think it was the 3rd and the 12th of December, and I'm looking forward to getting information on this man over here. He is the owner, Hoing Suk Han, of Asia Trade Group. There are many positive things about what is happening with Atlantic Global Asset Management behind the scenes, guys. I can't get into all of them. But the fact is, if you do some digging, you will find more positive than negative for the future of Atlantic Global Asset Management and Question World. That being said, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. God bless you and your family, and I will see you on the upside. Cheers.